Okay, so taking a little bit of homage from creator's kind of video with this, I figured I'd give a recap of what's happened in the last like 11 or so streams, HySMP wise, so that hopefully I can keep you guys in the loop to where you don't have to watch all the footage. Considering there's around, I want to say 36 hours worth. Anyways, this was around the end of part one. I set up some workstations and got situated on a rock toward the Pirate Bay area, which is planned for this spot. This is gonna be like a Pirate Dwarven area. I also found out candy canes were a thing and messed around with the Decker pinch just a little bit. Next up, on stream 2, I started working on the mine shaft, mainly the outside structure. I want to say infrastructure, but usually infrastructure refers to the internals. Well, I guess that does apply. And then we also started going down into the depths. This will go way down later for record. Also terraformed a little to make this blend in just a bit more. And then I believe this was stream 3 around. We took a trip into Orbis just to explore around the place. In one of the streams, we also got up to here, and I think possibly up to here. It was fun. I believe this was also stream 3. This is me looking for something to just take a screenshot of. I don't think I ended up using this one. Similar with this one. Which, mind you, I still have to like go into this mine shaft and actually loot it. If Game Lord hasn't done that already for me, I wouldn't be shocked if he did. And then around like stream 3, stream 4, I started working on a little nook and cranny system. Basically, chests going down this way, this way, and then later this way. There would be 3 chests, both double chests, in these spots. And then that would equate up to, let's see, 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 plus 24 is 48. 48 plus 48 is 92? No. Head maths is fun. 48 plus 48, that's a 8. 8 plus 8 is 16, so 96. Chest worth. And then the stream after we finish this, and then this of the room. And then we started working on like a workstation thing. I'm not sure if I have screenshots of like the work. No, I do. Okay. So both up and down, we have like a spiral staircase of sorts in each layer where the stairs downward are. We have a workbench to the side. We have around 5 layers of this, so that each workbench can at least connect to one row of chests in the main room throughout. The vertical height for chest connections is a little small, but right now with the fact that there's only like 12 benches or something like that, it's fine. Okay, so after that, we did go up and explore. That's little Quebec sheaf you see from way down here. There was some nice views. Same image of me sitting in the chair instead by him. This tree is a nightmare to climb, but it worked out. This was the view from the roof on this side. And then this was the view of the roof on the other side. And then this was stream 5. We went and did some mining and caving and explored. We made it all the way down to Magma area. This is when the fright started kicking in of caves. It's weakening just a little bit now, but on this particular stream, the ambience and music worked really, really well. And actually made me scared. It still does work really well. Oh yeah, also, if you didn't catch it, there was a goblin here. Yeah, he saw me and moved here while I was taking the screenshot. And then after the screenshot, he went after me. Thankfully, this fellow did not see me. But yeah, it is really cool down here. This is directly under my base, for record. This is another angle. Just realized there's some gold or copper right there. And then this is me also taking some more screenshots in that video. Found a little goblin in a nook of the cave. Probably some sort of camp. And then this was the next stream when I was figuring out how to go about the mineshaft designs. This was in a creative world versus the normal. We experimented with both roofs and stairs. What we wound up settling on was this one, but instead of a 1 block wide middle, it was 2 blocks. Making so that it would essentially be this kind of thing. Leading all the way down. This is me experimenting with some room design stuff for the Pirate Dwarven area. I'm probably gonna experiment with this stuff more at some point. This was that same room from the outside. I was experimenting with roof stuff. I realized that would have been better if that bit was connected. And then this is what we wound up settling for at the end of that stream for the mineshaft roof design. We changed it in the next stream. And if you can't tell, we made it a dent down. Considering that the nook to the outside room is right here. And that's a dent down as well. In fact, I believe this here is the roof of the structure. With that faint blue being the night sky. And then this was the next stream. This was the mineshaft design we settled on, as I mentioned previously. roughly this shape. It goes 3 blocks inward, and then you have beams, and then once again 3 in, same pattern. And so on throughout this whole thing. And it looks really, really cool. Especially from the inside, less on the outside, because the stone doesn't really blend into the roof as it is. It'd be really nice if that was a thing. And then this was me taking a screenshot to represent, I believe it was part 8. In part 8, we essentially just did some mining and stuff. And this was also when I found out about FreeCam, I believe. But yeah, this is the workbench tower I mentioned previously. This is the chests and storage area. We have a salvager here. We have a connection piece here. Oh yeah, we also worked on getting a railroad to go all the way down here. And then I started working on some more mine shafts. And then off stream, sometime around here, I went and actually dug that out and also started on these. And then in that same stream that I took that last screenshot in, I started working on figuring out where the store is going to be. For reference, the door is going to be something like this kind of thing. Which we can't make slam shut, but if it was going to slam shut, that would be roughly this kind of ordeal. And that's also the rough shape of how the entrance to the dwarven area is gonna look. Or at least where it's gonna carve out. And then this will just go down until we get over to this area where we can steadily rise up just a little bit under this mountain way back here. And yes, that is a pretty long entrance. This was when Death Hunt joined around. It might have been a stream earlier that Death Hunt joined. But this is a screenshot of their base because I didn't find anything to really screenshot because it was mostly just adventuring. Also, as of present, all of this roof has been dug out and there's a tower coming out of it now. Kind of like this thing, but Arc Spire style, in a sense. And then this was part 11. I want to say like 11 to 12 hour stream. What we did was work on the shopping district stuff. And what I focused on was getting materials for this room, e.g. the orange sandstone, white sandstone, the salt, the volcanic rock, and the cooled magma. I think it's magma. Something like that. And then that was so that we can make the main room of the shop. Because I'm going to plan on putting in some corridors into here leading to like smaller boulders of each material. which will each contain a shop for the type of cobble, and possibly like a furniture side thing with each variety or something. Though it's probably just going to be the rubble. And yeah, I know that's not lit the greatest. If I can, I might try and make this like a little more starry with like faint lights hiding in this roof, shining down into the room. That way, we don't have all these torches everywhere. But that relies on me finding something that works with the cool magma and style that gives off a light downward. This was another peek of that from the staircase. And then this was the entrance to it within Death Hunt's wood shop. Seen here. And don't worry, I'll hop on in a second to show you what this looks like in game and recap what my plans are. And then this is another angle of that without the annoying little one probe thing here. But yeah, let me go beat up Hightail. Sorry, there's not going to be a lot of editing, so hopefully this doesn't take a while. In fact, there's probably going to be no editing. Because that's my usual style. I'm not the editor. If I ever have an editor, I'll be sending those to them, and they can edit these down into something more digestible. But as of present, no editing. So let me hit play on the launcher. Let me just switch it over to this screen. Yeah, the reactive is off. I'm gonna also hide the chat because that's not really needed. And I just realized I haven't been showing that because I forgot to put that in that layer. But all the music in this video is provided to you by Give Heart Beats, a group under Give Heart Records that makes lo-fi beats based on Night One's Battle songs and some other track, albums, EPs, etc. I forgot the term for it. I think it's original soundtracks. There's also some anime-based ones as well. All of these are copyright free, royalty free, DMCA free, or at least should be. And then usually on streams, I play back to Night Battles music, which does sometimes get a territory block, but we'll deal with it. Oh yeah, I think Death Hunt's also streaming while I'm doing this, so we'll see how this goes. No, they're not. But we'll see. Okay. So, this is where I left off at the end of part 11. This is the wood shop that Death Hunt made, which offers quite a variety of woods. It also has an upstairs hidden away. Yes, I do have the directional ladders on. I just realized there's no lights up here. There should probably be a light or two. side piece over here. Not entirely sure the purpose, but it is here. Alright. So, in that stream, this is the area I mainly worked on. Not really this top bit, but more so this whole area down into the cave area, then down here into this room, which took a while to assemble. In fact, like 10 plus hours, like the stream. It was a lot of work to do, mainly because I needed to spend a while grinding that and this up here. Less on this. I have plenty of that. But yeah. So next up, let me head over to the base. This way, there are suddenly workbenches in here. And then we go this way. And this is the entrance to the mine shaft from the teleporter hub. Just in case it's night. It was indeed night. But yeah. This reaches the bottom row of chests. This reaches the bottom row in second to bottom. This reaches everything. I'm gonna wait for that. That shouldn't take too long. I can actually upgrade that. That's shocking. Anyways, this is the storage room I was talking about. I have not put all the chests in, but I think I can knock a few more of those out. That should do the trick. Let's see. Oh, that's a little under. I think that should do it. As long as I'm not missing any elsewhere. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, this does have an upstairs too, which is slightly different because there's a bit more space. I'm thinking of expanding this upward into like the top of this mountain as like a wizard tower kind of thing. Not sure how that'll look. Probably the kind that's like Magnificence Tower in the description. Oh yeah, also this is me being silly, wanting a one block passage with slabs so that I can have a little more detail. Also, yes, there is torches behind that to help keep this lit up. It doesn't really work as well as I wish it did, but it helps. Yeah, the minecart up here. I say hat. Let's make one. Because that did it, I betcha. So, put that here, and then we're gonna go down. This is mainly to show you the amount of work I put into this mine shaft. I can still ride that somehow. No clue how. But yeah, mine shaft all the way down there. That one's longer than the rest of them, I believe. Similar with these two. And then we have these little bits going down right here. This will be another one of these, but going to a lower section of the mine shaft with a similar pattern to what's going on here. This will be like 3 of these, and then another one of these downward. It'll hopefully link up with the other set. If I do this right. Because I'm planning on doing it like this, just down there instead. That way we can grind more rock types. Okay, let me get out of this. Actually, let's ride this the whole way up. Take this, and then we are going to go this way. And yes, I did pay attention to detail and put 2 layers of stone, slabs, and then slabs there. And this was originally without the rail, so it's a bit more walkable. Does this work how I wanted it to? Or does it also have to actually stop there? Okay, it can stop there. And then, as you saw earlier, I have a salvager, which up until last stream I have not really used, because I don't know, it was as useful as it is with the tools. Okay, we're gonna leave that there. This is the outside of that mine shaft. It's like this because hardwood slabs are annoying and don't like placing in certain ways. That's so that we can have a connection to the beam and also to the roof the best way we can from the top. Just realized this can probably be covered in slab as well, or something similar. In fact, I might put a little build here, and then it'll go onto this roof and look out over stuff. Maybe. Not quite sure. Okay, so now I'm gonna head off this way. I think I might. No, I don't. Okay. Oh yeah, also for reference, this is just gonna be like a mine shaft dwarven area kind of thing before the massive dwarven area. And then this area to my little starter base area, more so a farm, is going to be a mix of like Pirate Bay and Dwarven vibes. What I mean by that is that it's going to be like pirate huts just within these rock stalactite thingies. Let's head up. If I can get it to go up. This should be tall enough to do that. If I checked. No, it's one too many. Let me see. What I see there. So over here, I've been mainly just farming beech trees so that I have softwood. And then I also, in a stream, added a path down over here to a lower area of the base. Realized that the box that was over here is gone now. But there was a box. And then this is just way down that I just realized was there. And then this was the initial workstation area. Yes, I still have the candy canes here. Just realized that is off for some reason. But yeah, this was the initial area that it was going to work with, and then that was going to be the starter base. But we started the mine shaft instead because I needed a place to actually go mining. I forget how much knockback these fellas have. And then this area is going to be sprawling Pirate Bay. All the way up until the edge over there. This shows how much jump these give you. Damn. And then, where these beaches are, I'm going to have, like, a dock port town going out into the ocean. Probably like out to around here, maybe further. And then that's gonna be sprawling across this whole beach area. And then I might also like include like a tiki hut area somewhere over here. Maybe like in this area with the like tiki vibe. And then this marks the cutoff of the coastal town. And then I think like over here into the forest area is gonna be like some sort of native society to the area. I'm not quite sure, but I know I want to have this be reconstructed into like a watchtower. Since like the base of it is kind of already here. And it would be really cool. But yeah, that would be going all the way over here. Including here. Maybe a little bit of like native coastal town here. Just realized that would go hard as something like Moana style. Like Heart of Tapiti kind of thing. So sure that bear does not see me. Interesting. I don't remember that being there. But yeah, this whole area is going to be like a native people kind of thing. The axe out. I suck at combat sometimes. Just die. I don't know how you plan to get me from there. There we go. That's an essence fire. Oh yeah, also these cause bugs if you try to eat them because they don't have any interaction set. Well, this last day I checked. Just keep going around this because this goes for a while. This is probably going to be where the Dwarven area comes back into play. Maybe like a Dwarven native civilization area, just like we have the Dwarven pirate area for the middle. set in technicality. And then that, like, this whole area is gonna be that, like, native civilization kind of thing. This is pirates. This is also gonna be the pirate, like, Pirates Bay kind of thing. Probably like the headquarters of that. And then surrounding that is gonna be like coastal town kind of thing. And then this spot on is gonna be like dwarves. But that's not all. Let me find the Orbis. It should be somewhat close to that. I don't think I've noticed this one yet. But that might be the same structure. No? What's this one? Oh, that's just like one of the bridge things. Okay. Also, yes, I do have my like own portal to Gaia kind of thing. I usually call that Orbis, which is right there. And then this here is where like Dwarven Castle is gonna start, with the door being that kind of thing, but taller. That way we encompass this whole thing. Because I want the door to be like up to like here, roughly, if it was shut. And then, as I stated, that's gonna go transcend downward, probably until we're around about here. And then once we get here, we're gonna start going up, flat, and then probably still down involved across this whole mountain. Not quite sure how it'll end up turning out, but that's the rough plan. And then I'm gonna have like an exit to that Dwarven area around here. It was showing Death Hunt the other day. That'll be this whole area as like a side door, and then this will be like open wilderness Dwarven society kind of thing. And I just realized there's still stalactites over there, so that's probably gonna also be like that Dwarven civilization kind of thing. Probably like Dwarven elves or something. And then you see this river? This river is gonna mark the border between the dwarves and the elven civilization I'm planning to put right there. Which will like be this rough whole strip here. Maybe a bit further into this, if that is not reserved territory. But yeah, I think that's like most of the plans. Oh yeah, also probably like a bridge connecting the two sides, like here to there. And then we're gonna have that one scene from The Hobbit with the barrels in the river with a dwarf in them as they try and escape the elves. If I can manage to make it work. I might need to pull out some inner green for that. But yeah, that is the rough plan. Aside of that, I'll still have to figure out where I'm gonna go. Don't think so. This way? Oh, that's just the hole in the cave. Don't know if that'll end up interfering or not. Yeah, not the most useful. Okay, yeah, that's the plan. So I'm gonna head back to my base, get off the server, and then I think end the video here. It's probably pretty long, but it should suffice as a recap and update on plans kind of thing. And hopefully it's not missing FPS like the mini streams that happened yesterday, because OBS is silly. It shouldn't be because it's recording, but yeah. Oh, and plus I'm not on Discord either. Anyway, so the streams aren't thrown too far off. I'm gonna go back to the rock shop. I don't know how you got there. Must have a mind of its own. Again, if you haven't yet, you should probably check out Death Hunt, Game Lord, Liver and Lore, Amelius, I believe Keptic. There's also Edvin and some other sillies as well. Actually, I was logged off in front of the store. Like right around about here. But yeah, that should be pretty much everything. 43-minute video, but that should be fine. Probably won't be like a screenshot on the thumbnail or anything for this one because it's a recap. But yeah. Oh, I love when these people fall asleep. Then hopefully the mic was picking up fine. It should have been, but hopefully it was. But yeah, I'll hit stop recording now. I will catch you in the next stream. See ya.